Thank you all for coming to my presentation today. The head of our business has asked me to speak about computing infrastructure considerations for business continuity. On the agenda today, we'll take a look at why computing infrastructure is an important thing to consider in business continuity planning. We'll look at the difference between centralized and distributed servers, replication versus backup, network redundancy, and finally, we'll take a look at how the infrastructure that I'm recommending will protect us against various disaster scenarios. So why is computing infrastructure important in business continuity planning? Recent cyber attacks have shown us that not having an effective plan can be disastrous. When the NotPetya worm struck in Ukraine in 2017, it wreaked havoc not just in that country, but internationally across many, many different companies. And as you can see in this graphic, the total damage was estimated to be over $10 billion. And some people even feel that that is a conservative estimate. In addition to losing money, when companies are unprepared for attacks like this, they can also lose months' worth of precious time trying to recover business processes that have been compromised. Also, cyber attacks are not the only kinds of events that can be detrimental to business continuity. Business can be disrupted by natural disasters such as earthquakes, floods, and wildfires, by accidents and equipment failures such as network disruptions and power outages, or by intentional malicious acts by terrorists, employees, or cyber attackers who want to do damage to companies for a variety of reasons. Any of these events could spell disaster for Discover Home Loans. Our business is 100% digital. We have 3 operational centers spread out across the globe. Our loan origination system is based in the cloud and must be accessed by agents using VPN from their mobile laptops. Our systems must be highly available, meaning they must be operational and accessible almost 100% of the time. And our regulators require us to maintain loan data for the life of the loan plus 10 years. So that data is very, very precious. For all of these reasons, computing infrastructure is an extremely important consideration in business continuity planning. To explain the recommendations I'm making about our computing infrastructure and how they benefit us from a business continuity standpoint, it's important for you to understand a few concepts. The first of these is centralized versus distributed servers. In a centralized setup, you have a host of different clients. For us, that means people working on their laptops, all communicating with the same servers in one location. In a distributed setup, you have servers distributed across multiple geographic locations that are all networked together and behave as one entity. Clients will then connect to whatever server or servers are closest to them. There are various pros and cons to both centralized and distributed setups. In a centralized setup, all of your servers are conveniently located in one location, so data is easy to maintain and easy to back up. This type of setup is also generally very cost-effective. In a distributed setup, performance bottlenecks that may occur over long distances are mitigated because you have servers in multiple locations carrying the load of the network. These setups are highly reliable, meaning that a problem with one sector of the network will not bring down the entire network. This is also known as high fault tolerance. Also, these setups are easily expandable because of their modularity. However, the problems with centralized setups are that performance bottlenecks can happen across geographies, and there is generally no fault tolerance. If the servers in your one location go down, the entire network goes down. In distributed setups, however, the problem is that synchronizing servers across the globe requires powerful software and can be complicated to maintain. These challenges make this kind of setup more expensive. I am recommending that Discover Home Loans should use distributed servers because we have multiple international operational centers and because it is imperative for us to have high fault tolerance. We must have consistently reliable systems. The next concepts we'll discuss are replication and backup. In replication, you have servers in different operational centers that are all mirroring each other, and if one server goes down, another server can kick in and work can continue seamlessly. Whereas with a backup, your server is creating a backup of itself at regular intervals that are either stored in a different location or stored offline somewhere. To understand the performance differences between replication and backup, it's probably best to look at a timeline. As you can see from this diagram, when disaster strikes, replication enables you to recover pretty much instantaneously while retaining 100% of your data and being able to continue operations seamlessly. With backup, however, it may take a bit more time to recover your data, and because you can only retrieve data from the most recent backup, there is a chance that you may have lost information. While replication enables recovery in an instant, that instantaneous nature isn't always a benefit. If, for example, someone corrupts or deletes information from one server, it will be corrupted or deleted on all of the other servers in the network as well, because they are all mirror images of each other. On the other hand, with backups, you may be able to recover those corrupted or deleted files from a previous backup. So as you can see, replication and backup both have good qualities that counteract each other's bad qualities. This is why Discover Home Loans should use a combination of replication and backup to optimize the recovery process. Our data servers should be perpetually and synchronously mirrored in Chicago, Phoenix, and Chennai, India, and each server should be backed up to an offline server every 24 hours. This slide shows additional recommendations I'm making about our backup process. Our backup servers should be maintained offline in our secured facilities. Access to those servers should be restricted to only high clearance personnel. We should implement multi-factor identification to access those servers, including a biometric scan. So someone would have to present a password, a token key, and their fingerprint and eye scan in order to access the servers. These backup servers will contain all customer data and our loan origination software. These items are mission critical from a business continuity standpoint. Non-mission critical software such as Microsoft Outlook and SharePoint would not be part of this backup. They are already maintained by Discover's Shared Services Department as part of the Microsoft 365 Cloud, and they're maintained separately from loan information. Next, I do want to say something about network redundancy. This is where you add additional devices or communication systems to your network to help ensure that the network is consistently available and there's less chance of failure. Redundancy helps protect us from unwanted downtime as a result of a disaster scenario. We can maintain redundancy by having high fault tolerance due to mirroring our servers across a distributed network, having high availability due to software packages that allow the servers to monitor each other and switch between each other or to backup servers in case of failure, performing regular daily backups, testing automated and manual backup systems on a monthly basis, as well as maintaining and monitoring our UPS systems monthly to ensure that there is no disruption to power. So then finally, how do these recommendations for computing infrastructure help protect us in case of various disaster scenarios? In the event of natural disasters, replication in different geographic locations helps ensure business continuity of our operational centers if one of them is impacted by something like an earthquake, flood, hurricane, or some other natural disaster. In the event of accidents or equipment failure, replication and backup functions ensure quick recovery. Also, because all of our agents can access our loan origination system via the cloud from any network, they can still find access elsewhere even if their local network goes down. Also, monthly testing and maintenance ensure that our emergency power systems are in full working order. And when it comes to malicious actors, we have two-factor identification protecting our private cloud software and data repository. We have a multi-factor identification, including biometric identification, protecting our backup servers. And we perform daily backups to protect the integrity of our data in case a bad actor corrupts or deletes files. Maintaining this elaborate computing infrastructure is expensive, but we also must remember that at any given time, our loan origination system has $2 billion worth of transactions flowing through it. Furthermore, our regulators require us to maintain data about our loans for many years, and if we don't maintain that data, we could face very steep fines. We've seen the billions of dollars that can be lost when companies are not prepared for things like cyber attacks and other disasters. So maintaining our computing infrastructure may be expensive, it may be complicated, but when it comes to business continuity, it's worth it. I hope you have enjoyed my presentation today, and I hope it has put your mind at ease about how our business can prepare itself against disastrous events. I have prepared this slide of references in case you would like to look in more detail into any of the topics that I've covered here. There are several websites on this page that you may want to visit. Also, please feel free to ask me any questions you may have. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.